Alright, so today I'm gonna just talk about how I took this picture, the settings I used, and like everything that went into it. Because it looks kind of simple, like the after version, but then if you go back and like look at where it started from, it looks a little bit different. So like I think a main component that people don't know about in this picture is that I used a flash. A lot. I guess the more experienced photographers will know, but like since it's backlit, if there was no flash here, my face would be like super dark. All this would be dark. Everything here would be dark. But yeah, I used a flash. I used a Godox 8200 Pro too with the Pro Photo Bounce, and then this little Godox round head to go on top, so this could connect to it. And then also another big thing is that I'm shooting with the lens kind of closed. I think I'm at what's my aperture? I was at 5.0 aperture here, and then like 1/500 of a second at 400 ISO. And I think that is also a big part. I don't know why, but when I shoot with flash and the lens is kind of closed, it's easier to get focus. So that was a big reason. And also my mom was taking the picture, so like she didn't really know how to focus it too well. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So the autofocus wasn't too bad with that. And then outside of the flash, also we used a trigger. We kind of have to with that lens, so that's not a big thing. But yeah, that was the flash, the lens, and then just a mirrorless camera. I think any mirrorless camera will be able to do this. But yeah, I think those are the three big components. And we kind of had the flash positioned to the left of me to get this little effect and make everything bright. Make sure everything's in focus. But yeah. Getting into the editing, I know one part that everybody's gonna be asking about is probably like, I think the colors, but like outside of the colors, maybe just like getting rid of all these people. And I'm not gonna lie, it took a minute, not a minute, it took like 5 minutes, but still, like, I just used generative AI, remove, and then you just go through and you select the people, do all this, and then it'll load. And yeah. And then from here, you just clean it up, subtract, let it load away. And yeah, nothing too crazy there. And look, we got a little problem here. And this is the thing that takes a little bit of time. You have to like look at it, like look where it's messed up, and then go back and do it again. And I guess Photoshop will be a little bit better for this, but like if you're anything like me, you're too lazy to go between Lightroom back to Photoshop and Lightroom over and over and over again. But yeah, I guess it's still kind of cooked, but like it's fine for now because we still gotta remove this person. So yeah, it's kind of tedious. Oh, it's not good. You can go and just add this person into it because all of this needs to be fixed. Okay, one thing that I didn't go over earlier is this little mechanism here where you can select different variations of what the AI will create for you. And like here, it's very useful because look at this one, like this AI part isn't good. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like all this tree trunk here is cooked. But if we select that one and then we go to the different variations, like this variation, and then finally this one, it looks a little bit better to the point where you can kind of notice if you zoom all the way in, but you can't really notice now, right? And then I can go back, clean it up one more time. This is where it gets kind of tedious, right? Clean it one more time, hit remove, then wait. And then, yeah, look, that one looks good enough, but it's almost perfect. And we do have like this kind of beach line here. I don't know if I really want to change it, but we can try to get rid of it, see if we can get it all clean here. Yep, look, fix. And we're left with this sharper angle. You can kind of tell here. Now we're gonna get into the lighting of this photo and how I edited it. So the first thing I did definitely was bump the brightness up. You can probably tell if you look at my page, a lot of my photos are brighter. So yeah, definitely bump the brightness up. And then usually I wait till after I do this, but I kind of want some of this haze to go away a little bit. Even though it kind of like brings a cool effect, like that's kind of cool, but I don't know. I kind of want to keep the color of my shoes in my shirt and the cherry blossoms too. So I'll probably bump the dehaze up to like 20 something. And we'll probably put that up or down a little bit later. And then for shadows, I think I brought them up. Bringing them down looks kind of cool too, depending on how I work the highlights. But yeah, if we bring the highlights down, we definitely can see like the shape of the sun a little bit more. We're gonna bring them down a lot, not all the way down, but like somewhere around here, which is definitely way better. Yeah, probably somewhere around here. Bring the shadows up a little bit, and I guess the shadow effect kind of works the same as a flash, how the flash worked. But yeah, pulling the shadows up definitely brings the lighting back. And then I probably drop the blacks a little bit to get some contrast. And then we can also bump the contrast to get some more contrast. Not too much, so I don't like it. I like 19, yeah. And then the whites, yeah. And then already, you can kind of just see, even though like, don't look at the people, just look at the color. I think the color here looks a lot better. And this isn't even touching like color grading or anything like that. Then from here, I'd probably bump my vibrance up somewhere like around here. And it also depends on like your color grading, where the vibrance should be. And then my saturation probably like up 10, because you don't want it to start looking too green like we are now. But now that we are looking too green, we can bump the violet up just a little bit, and maybe the blues a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like this. Never get it. Yeah, because like we get this little, on the lens flare, we get this little purplish tone, and same here on this lens flare from the sun. It kind of matches the shoes and the aesthetic, so yeah. And then, low key, you probably should mess with the curve. I don't know how to use the curve, so we're not doing the curve. Texture, I'd probably bump it up just a little bit. Like this looks disgusting, but like if we're like maybe like 30, and then what, low clarity? Yeah, I don't. I guess it's personal preference, but like majority of the time, low clarity looks a little bit better in my opinion. So I'd probably do like 15. Get a little bit more of a cloudy effect going on here, and yeah. And this is like pre-color grade. This one, I don't know. Kind of like it. And then we also have this bluish tone one, which is a little bit more laid back, chill, but it doesn't really bring out the pink with the trees. It just like kind of puts the pink back in its own world. It makes it look different. I don't know. Yeah. And I think this one's probably my favorite. See this one, or this one right here. These are dang near the same thing. So yeah, probably go with this color one. And then at this point, definitely not at the exact same point, right? But we're pretty close to where we were here. I think the big thing now is to just up the temperature to give it the full golden feel. But like, if I wanted to, you could just sit here all day and then keep changing that. Like, that's not the purpose of this video. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I got from this kind of photo to this. Look at the before and after. I guess well, one big thing is probably the contrast lowered a little bit. Get through this other one. Yeah, and we're pretty much the same. Probably not as much. Yeah, I think this is pretty similar. Now that we kind of have our base edits done, we're going to just find a color that personally that you like to use. I think I'm going to go for a more golden effect with this image, so I'm going to go for one of my more golden presets. And then I'm also going to, on top of that, turn my temperature up to kind of bring the sun out a little bit more. And yeah, that's about it. Now what we're going to do is add 2 linear masks to kind of create some leading effects towards our subject. And we're gonna do that by just putting one here, moving a little bit, and then under the same mask, I'm gonna add another linear mask and do the same thing. And then in these masks, probably just bump down the shadows because it's the most natural thing, a little bit more natural than exposure. Yeah. Now we're just gonna go back in with the brush to smoothen things out. And yeah, just get around the subject, make the brush a little bit smaller. Now just get around, make everything look a little bit more natural. The last thing we're gonna add is just a radial gradient to play with the sun a little bit. This really isn't needed. I feel like it doesn't change the image that much, but like if you just want to like, I don't know, your personal preference over it, you can definitely do a lot of things with it, especially when the sun is behind your subject. And here I'm just trying to create some contrast near the sun so it pops out a little bit more while also keeping my subject still intact. And that's about it. Other than that, just let me know what you guys want to see next time. I think I'm going to do a video on like those little color ribbons I do. But yeah.